Alrighty, we are officially live. I'm here with Tejas, Rain, and today we're going to be discussing some directory ideas, but not so much ideas because Tejas, you've actually succeeded in selling directories, one for 4 figures, one for 5 figures, and you recently made a sale for a niche blog for 5 figures as well. So you obviously know your way around, directories and websites and SEO. So yeah, I would love to just hear from you. We'll see if people trickle in here. Um, how did you get into directories? I would love to know how you started. You were in the game pretty early in 2020, 2021. So how did you even get introduced to the idea of directories in the first place?
Sure, sure. So, nice to meet you, Frey, and I welcome all whoever is watching. So, my name is Tejas, and I'm from Mumbai, India. So, I started this journey pretty early. So, I was working at an SEO job back in 2021. So, it was a US based remote job. But I was like, there was a no code revolution back then. Like Bubble was, uh, pretty famous back then, also pretty famous now, but like the AI has taken over now. So I was like, there were a lot of no code tools, and one no code tool that was pretty famous back then, and it's good famous now as well. It was Spread Simple, which turns a Google Sheet into a directory. So I just looked at that tool, and I was wondering like what I can do with this no code tool. And then I decided like, okay, if I can have some data with me, and if I can plug that data into a Google Sheet, I can convert it into a directory. So that was when I decided I will be getting into a directory business. But I was not very serious about it because I just wanted to explore like what these no code tools can do. And I was like experimenting because I was also doing my day job. So I started experimenting with that. So, should I tell about the directory that I started with?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think selfishly, I'm curious what the niche was for the directory you sold for 5 figures and made
Yeah,
75K in revenue for. So I'm curious about that, and of course, you can talk about the swipe directory as well.
yeah.
Uh, and just before you do that, I just noticed a couple people come in. So welcome, guys: Daniel, Wayne, Chris, Harmit, Emua, and John. Feel free to ask questions around this. I was speaking to Tejas before this. We're kind of talking about how he started these directories and sold them. Um, Tejas, you mentioned that you're cool with questions just anytime it pops up. But yeah, just wanted to give you that quick intro. With that, the floor is yours. I would love to hear more about these niches. What did you build this?
Yeah, yeah. So
What you
basically, I started with this tool called Spread Simple, which converts a Google Sheet into a directory. So I started with a very basic and a simple idea because I was not that serious back in 2021. So I started with like a marketing resource. So I knew that there were a lot of marketing tools and resources. So I was like, I just collected some of the tools and just collated into a directory. And it was like a directory of marketing tools and services, right, and resources. So people can search and filter all the marketing tools. And one tool was AppSumo. And so because it was a like growth tool for all the founders out there, which who can list their products, right, and get sales. So one tool was AppSumo, and what I did was like I plugged in AppSumo affiliate URL at the top. So I
Hmm.
got like pretty good revenue from that as well, from the affiliate commissions. But I was, as I said, I was not serious. I was just like playing around with that tool. And I think I made like around $1,000 with that in revenue in affiliate commissions. And I sold it for like around $5,000 to a Canadian guy. So that was my first micro exit, I would say. And then I realized, okay, so directories have some kind of potential, and the domain was pretty good actually. So because of that, I knew that okay, directory business has some good potential. And that was in 2021, 2022. And what I did was like I partnered up with a technical co-founder who Rishabh, who is also in India. So what we started is we started a new directory called as Affiliate Corner, right? So I will talk about Affiliate Corner in detail now. So because that's the one of the most successful directories I built and sold it for 5 figures. So I will talk about it that in detail. First, I will talk about ideation because many people want to know like how I got this idea. So the idea was quite simple. Okay, first of all, idea was like first I got the idea was just to collate affiliate programs. But when I saw on the internet like there are already multiple products that has collection of affiliate programs, I didn't wanted to do that, right? Because then what's like how can I stand out from other competitors, right? So what I did was like I collected all the affiliate programs, but I wanted to share more deeper insights about affiliate programs as well as the affiliate niches, right? So example, like if I wanted to collect golf related affiliate programs, I can collect all the affiliate programs, but also share insights about, okay, like how to promote golf related affiliate products, how what are the search volume in that niche, what's the target audience. And like I also subscribe to some tools like Spark Toro to get some target audience insights, like who is the audience which are like interested in this niche. Then there were a lot of such insights that I wanted to add in this particular directory. So what I did was like I turned this. I didn't even mention the term called directory because the directory, the word it itself has a lower meaning than a research solution. So I positioned it as a research solution so that
Mm,
people think that it's kind of a a research software or something like that. So I didn't even mention directory in my landing page ever.
mhm.
Like in the 2 years of my business, I didn't even mention directory, but it was just the positioning thing that I positioned it as a research solution.
That's
So
smart.
yeah, yeah. So what I got is like all the affiliate marketers who wanted this affiliate program details like commissions and all of that, cookies and all of that filters, they can do that. And as well as you can get all the insights on affiliate programs and the affiliate niches as well. So that was pretty pretty amazing thing that I did because because of the positioning. And because positioning also matters a lot. So that was the ideation part about this product. Yeah.
Gotcha. And I'm just going to share screen real quick because I want to show people this and your actual directory here. So this is the directory that you sold that
Yeah.
for.
By the way, just to sorry to interrupt you. By the way, that the new owner probably just changed some the landing page. It was pretty good earlier. That guy did something, I don't know. It's bad right now. So
You're like, this
don't.
isn't my best work. I promise. No, dude, it looks fine, man. It looks totally fine.
The hero section is quite not good, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I think it looks totally fine. And I trust me, I've seen worse directories. My first directory is really ugly, so this is looking beautiful. This is, but yeah, what I found interesting is this is actually, it doesn't look like SEO was your main. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your main distribution strategy. We do
Yeah,
see this was started right around like late 2022,
yeah,
which is also when I started really going hard with directories. And I know Ahrefs is third-party data. It's not really accurate. I see inaccurate readings all the time with a bunch of numbers. But can you walk me through what your distribution strategy was with this? Did you use anything outside of SEO? And then I kind of want to know how that led eventually to someone buying.
yeah, yeah.
The
Sure,
dog
sure,
is going crazy. Yeah,
sure.
how that led to getting
Yeah,
acquired and how that
yeah.
looked.
Yeah. So basically, I will start with like how I launched this product. So the launch was pretty amazing. So we started building this directory, and we were like around 2 weeks, and we didn't even complete the directory. But my co-founder suggested me to start pre-orders, and we priced it at around $69 lifetime deal. So what we did was like there were a couple of niche Facebook groups, and what we did was like we contacted these Facebook groups and told them about this directory idea or the this product about affiliate corner, and some of them agreed, and we listed our product, and it was a pre-order, right? we didn't even complete our product, and we in just around like through 1 or 2 weeks we got around like $6,000 in pre-orders, right?
Wow.
And that was pretty good, and that itself boosted our confidence, because that showed us like, okay, this idea has got some validation because people are buying without even having access to this product, right? And the best part about Facebook groups is that people can, people do comment a lot, they talk about what they want, what they don't want. So we kind of like got, you know got good feedback from this early, pre-order customers, and we, got that feedback and, pushed that feedback into a product, and then we launched that product again into the Facebook groups again, and released the final product into the Facebook group. So coming back to your question, like what was the primary, channel about from for getting revenue for this product? So there was no primary channel as such, because I believe in omni-channel marketing. So I was like, I will do everything in I can possible to promote this product, right? So I
Mhm.
will just try to, give you an explanation about what kind of marketing activities I did, which led to like around 75K of revenue in just around 2 years. So that will give you, idea about what we did, right? So initially, as I told you, that we started with Facebook groups as a pre-order strategy, and I would recommend to all the people as well, if you are into, gated directories, if you want, and it also depends on the niche as well, of course. But yeah, so we started with niche Facebook groups, and then I also had a pretty good social media following back then. So I also, started promoting on social media. Then I also had a newsletter back then, so I promoted on my newsletter as well, and, all the other stuff, that like product hunt and all of the other things that I obviously did. But it was not sustainable, of course. But then what we did was, later on, we hired a lot of micro influencers for our, for this product. So we contacted on some YouTube micro influencers. So what are micro influencers is that, those influencers are not that big, but maybe, had some like around 10 to 15,000 followers, so something like that. But
Right.
yeah, so we contacted them via email and cold outreach, cold DM them, and on Twitter, all of that. And also I went to, Upwork and hired some TikTok people as well, and that worked for some time. And then micro influencer strategy did work as well. And yeah, so we got pretty, consistent sales from these YouTube channels, because people obviously were searching for it,
Mhm.
and for related, to affiliate marketing tool, or, research tool for affiliate marketers. So that was one pretty good thing. And the another source of revenue was that, we also, got a B2B model for this. So we also were asking for companies who want to list their affiliate programs. We were asking them like around 149 to $199 to list their affiliate program. And we were also, promoting their affiliate program through our newsletter, who are to our paid customers, who are obviously an affiliate marketers. So they
Mhm.
were like, they were actually reaching out, getting reach to potential affiliate marketers for their business. And we got pretty good revenue from that B2B segment, but the B2C segment was the primary source of revenue. And then later on, coming back to the omni-channel marketing approach, then I decided to, list our product into LTD marketplaces, right? So AppSumo, then Deal Mirror, Deal Fuel, and there was one French marketplace. I don't remember. It starts with VIEN, something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did that as well for like 7 to 8 months, I think around less than 1 year. We did that, and we got pretty consistent sales from there as well. So that was our approach. Like we didn't have any like primary, marketing resource, marketing activity as such. And we also started, also we have explored with Facebook ads back then. And as there was like a Black Friday, event happening, and before that we started Facebook ads. I myself knew Google ads pretty well. I didn't knew about Facebook ads. Obviously I know like how to run, but the problem starts when we start to scale, right? because initially it was pretty good. We got like around 3x or 4x of ROAS, but as we started scaling, our profit margin decreased, and I was not an expert. So I was like, okay, I think I will have to stop it because I was like burning money, and I
Hmm.
don't want to like get into that loop that about a Facebook ad. So I pretty accepted it. Like I'm not an expert there, so I stopped that. But yeah, it had good potential back then. And so all in all, like in around 2 years we did all of that stuff. Yeah, and also I think I also did some couple of forum marketing. So what I call it as, you start searching for forums related to your directory, and you start sponsoring them. So there are there are links in the forums, like if you want to promote any product or a service, right, you can sponsor that forum, right? So I also did that for a couple of couple of forums. I think Warrior Forum was one of them. Then yeah, there were some couple of forums. I think there was one subreddit as well which we sponsored. So there was a sidebar thing where they had listed some affiliate tools, and our tool was also listed there. So we did that as well. So we were like just doing everything possible to market this product, and we were quite successful in that. So all in all, that was the gist of like how we marketed our product.
Very nice, man. Very nice. Yeah, you were very scrappy, it sounds like, which is exactly how I was when I was starting my directory. And I get it, man. Facebook ads is like learning a whole language. I remember, I mean, yeah, to be fully transparent, I think I lost like close when I was running my e-commerce store and I was learning Facebook ads. I think the first $10,000 was like not
Yeah,
lost, but it was,
yeah,
I call it tuition money. You know, you pay for
yeah,
tuition, you go to school, you learn something. I
yeah.
paid the tuition running my e-commerce store. I got pretty bad ROAS. It was what it was. But I am I'm just gonna fire off some questions because I'm curious to reverse engineer this successful directory. And if
Yeah,
anyone who's watching has questions, like think about where you are in your directory journey, whether you're in ideation or whether you're trying to figure out if your directory niche solves a problem. And then ask Tejas because this is like the time to do it. But my question is around that problem that you were solving. In my mind, I would assume that if you're building a directory around affiliate programs, you just look it up. That's what I do. I just
yeah,
look up. But to be fair, sometimes it's not very easy and like you're not really, it takes a lot of time. So is the problem that you're solving kind of like a travel agency where like yeah you could go book the trip, you could go book the hotel, but you're saving people time by curating this content in one place and people are willing to pay for these affiliate program access? Because yeah, I'm just curious about that.
yeah. So basically, that itself was the idea. So we were the copy on our landing page was very focused on saving time and saving money, because we had like so we didn't even like add integrate any third party APIs into our product, because we only had a lifetime deal approach. Because that was also reasoning behind the lifetime deal approach, because searching for affiliate program is not like a continuous process, right? So if you search for an affiliate program, you might search today, you might not search for like probably 1 or 2 months, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's not like it's a very sporadic thing. So my approach was like, okay, I knew what how my customers think, right? They would not probably subscribe to my product on a monthly basis, and even if they do, they might churn at around maybe third month or so. So what I thought I was like, let's make it into a lifetime deal, and let's make it into a database, but let's position it as a research solution. And that what itself was the the approach. Like if you see the copy as well, we only focused on how we can save time and how we can save money for affiliate marketers. So we got subscription of Ahrefs, we got subscription for Spark Toro as well, and we got a lot of insights from these affiliate niches, like top keywords to target for affiliate marketers in that niche. And we used to like sell those, have those what I can call as CSV files and PDFs, all was there inside this product. So we were actually saving a lot of time for them as well as money, and that was the approach of like selling this product. It was not like you can search and filter affiliate programs, but you can get a lot of insights on many affiliate niches, and you can save a lot of time and money. So that was the reasoning behind the product.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, I'm personally also curious about your latest acquisition. So you posted on X and you had a recent exit for 5 figures for a niche blog. And I
Yeah.
think this is interesting because for those who are not really, aware of like what SEO has been like for the last few years, it's been very turbulent. September 2023, there was a Google Core update that basically wiped out a lot
Yeah.
of niche blogs. Like think about informational blogs, a lot of like massive travel blogs that were getting, literally hundreds of thousands of monthly visitors, making multiple 5 figures a month, just went down to like a fraction, like 1% of that. A lot of people didn't recover. They kind of just left it and just kind of crossed their fingers and hoped that it would bounce back. You kind of took a different approach. Like you managed to actually, I don't know if you revived it and then sold it, but you turned something that was arguably like dead or dying, and then you turned it into something that someone was willing to spend. What was it, around like $20,000 for?
Yeah, I will tell you about the whole blog thing from start. So it was like so I back in 2021 I was doing this SEO job, and when I quit that job I instantly started this niche blog myself. I didn't acquire this, I started it myself from scratch, and I started this from zero. And like for the first 6 months, it was like nothing. Like I knew like SEO takes time because I knew about SEO from 2018, so I knew SEO takes time. I was like focusing on low competition keywords, doing a comprehensive keyword research analysis in that niche. And I was like, I knew like this would work. And around like seventh or eighth month into that blog, the blog started kicking off, right? And it got good amount of traffic, and around in just 1 year it started making like around 500 $600 a month. And then as you told, like, and then I scaled that blog pretty good. Like I was like targeting low competition keywords, I was getting good traffic. And s- enter September 2023, the worst period for bloggers, right? And at the peak of September, or maybe August of 2023, my blog was making around 3K a month, and it was pretty good for me. And I was like really happy, and I knew that by December or January, in the Q4, as the RPM increases, that blog would obviously reach by around 7K to 8K per month. I knew that because in Q4, those who don't know, like in Q4, quarter four of the year, the advertisers start increasing their spend on inside the blogging industry, because they want to complete their spending, complete their budgets, right? So yeah, spending increases in Q4. As spending increases in Q4, the RPM increases, and the RPM is basically the revenue you get for every 1,000 impressions, right? So RPM increases, obviously your revenue will increase. So I knew that in Q4 my revenue would increase a lot. Like it might 2x of what I was earning. But in September 2023, Google did a helpful content update, which like thrashed like each and every blogger out there. And obviously my blog was also affected. So I at the peak it was getting like around 130,000 visitors a month. But just like around 2 to 3 months, it was down to around 20 to 30 40,000 visitors a month. So I was like worried. And so what I started was like, I didn't want to sell at that point of time, but I kept it. But I diversified my traffic with Pinterest. So what I did was like, I got into a tool called blocktopin.com. And it was like a Pinterest automation tool. And what it did was like, it got all the URLs from the sitemap, and it got all the images from the blog, and it converted into pins, and it was like pinning every day for like around 7 to 8 pins per day. And I was also started getting traffic from Pinterest as well. So I started diversifying. Bing was also getting good amount of traffic, but my main source, that was Google, which was again like pretty bad for me. Then I had to decide like what I need to do, because I knew like I did many changes to my blog, but it was not working, right? And so did many bloggers out there. There were like many big bloggers. I was a very small blogger, but there were many big bloggers out there in the market who were doing a lot of things, but it was not working for them as well. So I decided like, okay, if I have to keep this blog, I have to like rely on Google's algorithm, and I have to face the uncertainty that Google brings. And I also knew that Google AI overviews would take over in some time, in around 6 to 7 months, because AI revolution was also coming in the late of 2023, and as the GPT was, in demand. So all that into consideration, I thought about, okay, as I'm an entrepreneur, I have left my job. I don't want that much of an uncertainty right now. I think I would like to have some uncertainty. I will get some cash. I'll use that cash into, in and invest in some other business, maybe build another business out of it, and I will get all the revenue in one go, and I'll get that uncertainty, and I will, exit this blog. So I started listing my blog on, many multiple acquisition marketplaces like Acquire and Microns, and every other marketplaces like Flippa. Then eventually, in October or November of, uh, 2024, we started the deal of, exiting with this American guy that I was talking to. And we finally, had a deal of like around 4 to 5 months, and it was like a upfront deal of like around 5,000, and then we paid off like around next 3 to 4 months for $4 to $5,000 each month, and we finally had an exit right now. So that was the initial, approach of building the blogging business and then exiting, because my rationale was I wanted a certainty right now. I didn't wanted to rely on Google's algorithm uh, as a niche blogger.
Hmm.
I'm talking about niche blogging right now, because like, for a brand, it's a different game, right? It's a different game because you have authority. I didn't have an authority back then as a like proper, if you know about like, niche pursuits, right? It's a pretty good blog in the SEO world, and he has a proper personal branding into that blog. That blog was not affected. So I knew that if I have to revive this blog, I have to make it into a good brand, and I didn't wanted to invest that much of our time, so I just
Hmm.
decided to sell it off.
Mm. Props to you for continuing to build directories after that, because so many people got wiped off and they're like, I'm not going to build websites anymore. And I think
Mhm.
that's kind of a mistake because they
Yeah,
already have the foundational skills. They just need to pivot to see what didn't get hit, and directories didn't get hit. At
yeah,
least all the ones that I analyze. And it's not like when I make these videos analyzing these directories, I'm cherry picking. I kind of just find some that are cool and then I just talk about them. So it's not like I'm in the back of the curtain. I'm only choosing the directories that haven't been hit by the core update. I don't even think about the core update. I just it doesn't cross my mind. So yeah, directories have been more or less like pretty much unimpacted. For you, I'm curious because you worked in SEO
yeah.
and you've been using it obviously as the distribution model. What do you think about modern SEO, and how do you think it's changing? We see all these tweets and people in the SEO space saying, "Oh, it's changing," but for someone who's just beginning, that's really confusing. And I have some takes on this too, but um, you know, if you could boil it down in simple terms for someone who might just be getting started with SEO and
Mhm.
they're like, dude, I have to learn SEO and then like it's changing all the time. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what is your interpretation of modern SEO? How do you think it's kind of evolved? And like, what's like, yeah, like if you want to hit me with some bullet points, I'm kind of
Yeah,
curious what
yeah. So basically, like, don't think about SEO in that way. So I will think about it in a very simple manner. Like if you want your product to be seen on the internet, what would you do? You would want mentions on the internet. You would want people to know. If you let's suppose you have like a list of, like, if let's suppose you have an SEO tool, SEO software, and people are searching for the best SEO like backlink software, right? Obviously, you would want that visibility on the internet. And if you don't optimize your website for like search engines for that matter, or any for that matter, right? Your website would not be even visible, right? So you have to like do all the basic SEO stuff, right? All the basic SEO stuff, right? Like the sitemaps and the robots.txt file on the sitemap.xml file, and you have to do a lot of stuff. You have to do that, and you have to basically do keyword research and see what people are searching for, right? So that the basic things you have to do. So you don't have to like think or confuse or get confused like what people are thinking. So because if you can get a lot of mentions, you can even get into the chat gpt results as well. So the more mentions you have, the better it is. And of course, like the modern SEO is like Google, I think it still doesn't like niche blocking. It only likes the branding or the blogs which are quite related to branding. So if you have good branding for you, and if you get good mentions from good relevant sites, that's a good approach to start with, without thinking in a very in a complicated manner. So you just do the basic stuff, right? Get good mentions. So if you are into any niche, let's suppose you are into golf niche, try to get mentions from websites or any forums related to golf niche. So context matters a lot. So if you are getting mentions from any random directory or random blog, that would not give a good signal to Google. So
Mhm.
get good contextual signals from your own niche, rather than having going randomly or submitting your blog into random directories. Of course, that would just give a signal to Google, just to get some visibility. But the most biggest signal would be to get contextual links from related to your niche, right?
Mhm.
That's the basic thing I would like suggest to anyone. Just don't overthink. Just do the basic things right, and get contextual links or mentions across the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%, 100%. And it's the reason why I see, like, sometimes I'll talk to someone who built a website and they don't even know SEO, but their whole goal was just to make it a useful resource, as useful as possible. And I feel like SEO, at least like 5 years ago, was like, it was too gamified in the sense that, I mean, still gamified to a large
Yeah.
extent, but it was like, oh, I'm going to put my keyword in this header and put it 11 times in the first paragraph. And it was like kind of soulless. And to an
Yeah.
extent, there's still part of that game being played for sure. But I think when people say, at least because I've been trying to wrap my head around what is changing, like what's modern SEO, like what does that even mean? And my take is that actually, yeah, to your point, all the basics are the same. The on-page SEO stuff is like very, very basic. Headers, internal links,
Yeah.
slug, like images. That's not going to change. And I think what a lot of like advanced people on Twitter and just people who talk about SEO a lot, when they talk about modern SEO, they're specifically talking a lot about how AI is automating the link building process. And that's like a whole entire world. Like if you're beginning to SEO, like I wouldn't even worry about that. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm understanding is like how to get contextual links, like you mentioned, how to automate cold outreach. And it's basically like everything that I learned manually when I first started directories and building links, but
Yeah.
people are just automating it at scale. Like it's like a very multi-step process. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like an easy task to get a high quality, relevant contextual link.
Yeah.
Um, and also costs money, right? So it's like a
Yeah,
whole
yeah, it
process.
was a lot. Yeah, I used to do a lot of link building earlier in my day job. So I used to like cold outreach people into the similar niches, and I used to get a lot of links. But of course, It really depends, like how is your positioning in your cold outreach. So some people would ask you money, some people would ask you for exchange of links, some people would ask like probably get some another link from some other website that you handle or something like that. So some people would ask for a guest post. So I would suggest you do the basic things, right? So let's suppose if you have a product into golf niche, try to make a list of all the tools or the tools or the websites or the niche blogs into that niche, and try to contact these people and try to establish some relationship with them or a partnership with them, and see if we can get some contextual links from them. Because if these guys mention your tool or software, so that's a good quality signal for Google. So just do that basic thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. SEO feels like something that, like, what I've learned from SEO is just you're better off just experimenting on your own. Like, you
Yeah,
can listen to the experts and people talking about the basics, but like everything I talk about, everything that I share, like on YouTube, is just stuff that I have actually tested and know.
yeah,
And so I try not to listen to too many SEO experts, to be honest. I mean, there's probably like two or three that come to my head where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yes, you're like insane. Like, you are undoubtedly like good at SEO. You're ranking for like online casino, which is like the hardest, like it's like as hard as crypto, right? These are hard, very lucrative niches to rank for. So I'm like, okay, I get it. But yeah, so that's like, unfortunately, it's like, fortunately and unfortunately, the deal. I would say just learning slowly is better, and then like scaling that with AI is going to be where things get really crazy. Like, I'm so excited when I have more time to get into AI link building, because it
yeah,
looks insane, and I don't see how you wouldn't be able to pump out like just, yeah. So I'm really excited. I don't want to go off too much on a tangent.
yeah.
We
I
do
think we
have
got the question. Yeah.
we do have a question from Daniel. Does a backlink provide value if it comes from a company listed in that same directory? If so, why would a listed company refer to a directory that also includes competitors, as this potentially could lead to losing a prospective customer? Okay, so you're asking, does a backlink provide value if it comes from a company listed in that same directory?
Uh,
Um,
we need to get some more detail about this.
yeah, Daniel, if you have an example, Daniel, I'd kind
Yeah.
of like to hear what you're thinking. Um,
Like
I
if
mean,
that company is in the same niche, so just get the basic, right? So if you get a link from the same niche, that's a good signal for Google, and that's a good quality SEO for you. So that's the basic thing. Just getting links in this from the same niche would be a thumbs up for you. But I don't know, like what exactly are you asking? So if you can be specific or give some example of what you are asking, so it would be helpful.
yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. And typically when companies link to a backlink, I've noticed it linked to the direct listing page. So like, they're not linking to a location page where they're then being compared to all these other businesses that are very similar to their offer. It's usually to the listing page, or like if you utilize the badge backlink method, where you just say like they might link to a page that's like giving them social proof, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like for Delta, they have a page where it's like, you know, we were awarded by I don't know, Forbes for the best customer service airline, and so they linked to that page, and all, that Forbes page is like basically social proof. It's giving them kudos for everything that they've done. So that's kind of what I've seen. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, and if not, please let us know. Wayne asks, a backlink from a listing in the directory. Um, a backlink from a listing, a backlink, or I was talking about a backlink to a listing in the directory, right? Like if I have a porta potty directory, I assume the question is, why would a porta potty business link to my directory around porta potties. Well, they wouldn't be linking to the location page where they're like compared to all these other porta potty businesses. They're linking to the actual listing specific, like their own listing page on my directory. So
Yeah.
they're effectively using it as like an online business card you can think about, where I have all the information, there's reviews and all this good stuff. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
that's like one use case for that's
Yes.
one use case. Okay, is that what he means? Yes, that's one. Okay, cool. Yeah. Keep the questions coming in, guys. I'm very curious where everyone's at in their directory journey, and while we have someone like Tejas here, like it doesn't matter if you're trying to exit, like which you've done, Tejas, but yeah, if I were building a directory and this existed, like I had no one when I was starting. I wish I could talk to Tejas when I was
Yeah.
like just starting out. I had so many questions
You
around
know,
identity.
I had a very crazy idea back yesterday. So I was like thinking like, okay, now the vibe coding thing has, is in a lot of demand. Now many people can build directories like very easily. So what if like if you have like tons of directory ideas, and what if you can just build that directory and just forget about the revenue part for now, and if that idea directory idea is pretty unique or pretty good, if you got a very good domain, and if you got some good data, and if you are like struggling to get revenue, but you can still exit that directory because it's a pretty good idea. And let's suppose you didn't invest much time into it, like maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you do it as a small bet kind of a thing, and you just exit it just for the fun of it, right? Just
Mhm.
so you can do that for like for the fun of it as well.
Yeah, I actually think that's the better way to approach it. I did not even think about revenue building my first two directories. It was a experiment to test out different page structures and what would
Yeah,
rank better for SEO. So for me, it was like the playground, and I was just like, oh crap! Like 6 months into my thrifting directory, I was like, I just decided to turn on ads, had no expectations, and then the first month was like $1,200, and I was like, what the hell? I've been like, just like this is a thing, and so yeah, I think that's the better way to do it.
yeah,
I mean, it depends, right? Some people are more or less patient. Some people like it just obviously depends. Like I think your method, the method we're describing, where you jump in and you play, like you emphasize playing and learning, that's the fastest way to learn, but it
yeah,
might not be the fastest to revenue. Whereas you can spend a lot more time researching, like, because my process is like refined over 2 years. And I think if you follow it, you have a much higher chance at finding a niche that is monetizable, but
yeah,
you're going to spend a lot more time up front and you're not actually going to get into the weeds and like get
right,
dirty. So just
yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
yeah,
Cool, man. Well, I want to talk about what you're up to now. You created a solution for people to help to help find directory ideas, and it's Directoryideas.ai.
yeah,
I'll pull it up over here. We'll take a look. Um, is this your main project right now? And how did you come to decide this is the problem that you want to solve?
yeah. So yeah, currently this is the main product that I'm working on, Directoryideas.ai. And so basically what I was thinking, like I was also only exploring all the directory, stuff, whatever I was talking to. And I thought like, okay, what if I have a domain or an industry in my mind, and I want to create a directory into that niche. Like what if I create a tool which has a lot of if I can like input a term and get some ideas from it. So and lot of insights basically. I was thinking like plug in third party APIs and all of that and get good amount of insights from that stuff. So that's where the idea came in, and I'm already improving for each and every aspect of in terms of getting insights. So yeah, let's see how this goes.
I typed in porta potty because for the next full build out video where I use GeoDirectory, I want to build I'm thinking luxury porta potty rentals. I
Okay.
kind of went too broad with my first porta potty directory. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the truth is, like, I've read hundreds of comments, I've spoken to hundreds of people in the last few months, and like,
Yeah.
ideas is the hardest part, and
Yeah.
that's not even close. And that is the case for people who are on multiple directory builds already, because the vetting process is quite it's very important, and it's quite time consuming. So yeah, this is cool. I played around with it a little bit, not for
Mhm.
this specific niche, but I think it's a good way to get like very quick, high level information.
Yeah.
I know that you have a lot of, you know, yeah, you have a lot of information here. Can you talk about how it works? Like, is it pulling from things like Reddit? Is it pulling from certain sources? Is it like, yeah, how does this work? And I guess, like, if I'm a customer and I'm like trying to solve this issue, I'm trying to figure out ideas,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
want to pay for this tool, I want to
Yeah.
know that this information is like saving me time, essentially.
Yeah.
So is this
Yeah. Yeah.
just
So basically,
prompted? Is this pulled from certain sources? What does that look like?
yeah. So basically, the insights and the ideas part are basically pulled in from OpenAI. So basically, that's all AI generated content. But all the insights that you get on the niche level, that is purely integrated via third-party APIs like Perplexity. So Perplexity, you have all the internet data. I have also plugged in keywords everywhere API, so you will get the real-time search volumes as well. So there are some third-party APIs that I'm using, which will get you all the real-time data in terms of like insights. So there are niche level insights, there are idea level insights for each directory. So for each directory, you will get insights from the AI part, and for niche level, you will get insights from all third-party APIs in real time.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. So, I assume that you had to create a prompt to then create
Yeah,
the.
for every insight, I have a different kind of prompt, and I'm also like exploring, because like as AI model improves, this insights part will also improve, right? So currently I'm using GPT-4o mini, but if I replace that with some really good model like O3, that would really set this apart. And if I so there are certain parameters that will also fetch in internet data as well. So I am exploring that as well. So as the AI model improves, these insights will also get even better.
Got it. Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely pretty neat. Um, you have some of this too. We do have a question here.
Yeah,
Sai,
yeah.
uh, and hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. Sorry, Sai, if I'm not. In the beginning, are there any specific platforms you guys would suggest you put more of a focus on to get the momentum started? You kind of mentioned some you started with.
Yeah.
And she also said, I would like to include a blog on my directories. I noticed some of my competitors don't have a blog on their site, but that they seem to be doing well. Are directories blogs still worth considering?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, like I will just start with the tool. So if you want, there are like many tools out there. So I will just list you some tools, and I will also share you my recommended approach right now. So there is a tool called spreadsimple.com, which converts a Google Sheet into a directory. And there's a tool called Directify.app. I think we had the founder here, right? I
Sergey,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah, Sergey, yeah. Directify.app is there. And I think Unicorn platform is also there. So there are a couple of tools out there that where you can like just sign up and get your momentum going. And my recommended approach is very different currently. It also depends like what skill set you have. So my recommended approach is like I am currently exploring with Lovable or Bolt, and then doing it with Cursor or Windsurf. So I can have all the functionalities with me. I can do whatever I want with the directory. If I want to build a free tool for my directory, I can build that. If I want to add a very complex feature in my directory, I can do that. So with Lovable and Cursor. So I would recommend that as well if you have some time, exploring with vibe coding. But yeah, there are a lot of no code tools that you can, get started for the momentum thing.
Yep, I totally agree. I am also playing around with all these AI tools, and I was telling Tejas right before this, I'm playing with Hostinger's competitor to Lovable, which is called Hostinger Horizons, and
Yeah.
it's cool because you can buy domain, launch it, prompt it. It's just very similar to Lovable. Sai, I know you're in pro, so I know what you're thinking about in terms of your niche, and I won't say it, but I would say that you could probably whip up something pretty decent with WordPress. Um, WordPress does have a steeper learning curve than I would say Lovable. It took me a long time. I don't know about you, Tejas, but WordPress took me like a good amount of time just to feel like I can move quickly. But once you get it, it's an invaluable skill, and it's so nice to have. And I'm sure they're gonna come out with their own Lovable competitor down the line. It'd be crazy if they didn't.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, lovable. Yeah, it got me some time as well. But you're talking about WordPress, right?
mhm.
Yeah, WordPress is like it's a one-time setup, and once you are like set up, you can like just publish a blog very quickly.
Yeah. And regarding your question around blogs, I'll use this as an example. Um, so this is the directory that I built in. I chose to do a blog for this niche because I went over to the questions and I saw that there was a lot of search volume for like these informational keywords, mainly around how much plasma donation. And not only did I do this, I looked up to see what was ranking for these questions, and they were all trash. And there was an overwhelming Reddit um, forum across multiple subreddits asking about how much does plasma donation pay, and it's because it's quite complicated. So,
Yeah,
in that case, it would warrant me to go and build these blogs. The people want it. What's available sucks. There's clearly thousands of people searching it every single month. So I'm
yeah,
going to go ahead and take that. I wouldn't rely on it for traffic because of
yeah.
the September 23 core update and the March 2024 core update. These, as
Mhm.
we've seen, has completely decimated these informational keywords. And so
Yeah,
we don't want to rely on that. We want to rely more on the directory kind of traffic, which offers a little more utility. So that's kind of an example of when I would write a blog. Otherwise, I don't even bother personally.
yeah, yeah. If you have like time, good time, you can just experiment with having a blog. It's like no harm in having a blog.
Yeah, exactly. Daniel, you asked no code tools still require a modicum of coding knowledge, do they not? Is it truly possible to embark on such an endeavor without any prior experience? 100%, Daniel. I am a no coder. I don't know anything. I bought an HTML and CSS book 10 years ago, and it literally, I haven't even finished the first chapter. Um, I'm learning it by, so I hired a consultant in the pro community, and I'm like learning in public. We've done like 8 hours worth. Like every week we'd meet up and do 2 hours of like a live stream. And she's just basically teaching me how these work and explaining it. There are some times where like there's a bug and it's like, what the hell is going on? But these AI tools have made it easy. There's literally a button in Lovable that says try to fix it or something, like just try to fix it, and it works sometimes.
Yeah,
So it's very much like, I would say it's actually pretty doable. Like I could figure all this stuff out um, without her, Meg, who's teaching me. But yeah, it's just like a learning curve. Like all these have a learning curve, and what I would say, it's less about coding knowledge and more about like, you still need to strategize. Like it doesn't replace the strategist. You need to know what page structure, like some SEO levers to pull, like, on page stuff, schema. Like you need to know these things so you can tell the tool to carry out the task.
yeah.
And that's the harder part rather than like the coding part. So yeah.
And I would recommend like it really depends on your idea as well. If your idea is really simple, you can just go with a very simple tool. If it really depends on your idea. If you think your idea has a lot of potential, you have to spend a lot of time. You are very serious about your idea. You can like just spend your good time with vibe coding and make it a really good directory, because with vibe coding you have a lot of control with you. With Lovable and Bolt and Cursor, you have a lot of control with you. So it really depends on your idea as well.
100%. It's like very, very dependent on the niche you choose, for sure. Did you say Lovable is easier than WordPress? It's different. It's really different, and it's not as fast as people make it out to seem. Like I can easily spend 4 hours just reprompting things, fixing small things with Lovable, and like that's a disadvantage to me because if I
Yeah,
were to say, "Hey, Lovable," like if I prompted it, like, "Can you change the like color of the body paragraph and the header text to this font," like it might take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, which doesn't sound like much, but in WordPress I could do that in like 20 seconds,
yeah.
30 seconds.
The ideally the workflow would be like so this is my approach of building directories as well with Lovable. So this is how I work with Lovable. So what I do is like, first I take my idea, put it into Chat GPT and tell him that I want a good prompt that I can send to my AI agent to build a directory. So Chat GPT would create a very good prompt for my AI agent, which is Lovable, and I take that prompt, paste it into Lovable, so it will create a directory now. So now the main part of the main directory is done. So if I want to make some changes, I will not do in Lovable. I will do it via Cursor, because the all the things that you mentioned, like if I want to change the color, if I want to change the font size, it's very easier to do in Cursor, because Lovable, of course, it will consume a lot of credits as well. uh, I keep Lovable just for the backend part, because it's connected to Supabase, and the integration of Supabase backend is really powerful there. So it's like, if I want to create a new database, if I want to create a new table, if I want to add a new data to my database backend, so I will use Lovable for that. And any front end related changes, like making it responsive, or making the font changes, or anything, I want to add a new feature as well in terms of front end, I would
Mhm.
do it in Cursor first. And yeah, so all the complex things that you want, you can just do it in Lovable. Just use the chat mode first, and
Mhm.
then plan it out, and then you can go about implementing it. And similar in Cursor, but I just keep all the front end related small changes in Cursor, and the big changes or the complex changes I will keep it in Lovable. So that is how my framework of building any directory or any tool for that matter.
100%. Always like that's what all the people I know, they start with
Yeah,
ChatGPT and make a prompt, bring it
yeah,
over to Lovable, and then go that way.
yeah.
I do have a hard stop in 2 minutes, so I want to make sure I give you all the flowers for this idea. And if anyone has last minute questions, like this is the time to post it.
By the way, there's a discount code for members, SYD20, so you can like get SYD20 and 20% discount for Directoryideas.ai, if you guys are interested in doing that.
Sweet, sweet. So that's a 20% discount on
Yeah.
this. Awesome, awesome. Cool. Yeah. Is there a free trial people can try as well, or is that
So we have like around 14-day refund period, so you can
okay?
just play around and see how it goes for you. I'll
Cool.
happy to refund if you don't like it. It's not an issue for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that. That's always good. Dude, this is cool, man. I'm excited to when I have more time, I want to play around with it more because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, sure,
always
sure.
coming up with more ideas.
So currently, I'm like exploring a feature where you get trending topics from the internet, and you get directory ideas of those trending topics.
That's
So
smart.
that's what I'm thinking. So basically, let's suppose if there is any trend that is happening and that you don't know, right? So if you like enter your niche, let's suppose golf, right? And there's some trending thing that is going on in golf that you don't know about. So you just search golf, you'll get all the trending topics from the internet in that screen, and you will get ideas related to that trend for directories.
Mm.
So that's what I'm currently exploring on.
That'd be cool, man. I'm excited to see that feature. We'll end off on this question here. Wayne, you asked, with everything moving towards AI, is it worth it to learn WordPress, or should one just bite the bullet and learn no-code tools? If you were starting from zero, like what I always say is use the tool you're familiar with. I'm familiar with WordPress. If I was creating a really basic pillar page directory, which I've done in like 7 days, it's easy, right? Like it's so quick. If I knew nothing though, I would, at this current moment, I would probably I would lean towards AI coding tools.
Yeah, so yeah, I have a rap course where I have like listed some of the no code tools and the AI tools. I do teach them in my you know in my rapcourse.com as well. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I have to jump to a meeting here, but Tejas, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time and sharing your wisdom. You're clearly, you know your stuff. So I'm excited to see what you build. Everyone who asked a question, thank you so much. And we have a lot of lives coming up this month. So look forward
Yeah.
to that. And Tejas, I'm sure you're open to people hitting you up for any questions. So
Sure, sure.
please,
Yeah,
please
I'm open
take
to them.
advantage.
Like I can answer anytime.
Awesome. Well, with that, I'll catch you guys soon. I'll talk to you soon and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
See you guys later.
Thank
See ya.
you. Bye, guys.